We have a massive update on the WWE, Warner Bros. Discovery TV deal, plus some major TNA news. We're going to talk about it. Don't forget, we're giving away this championship belt at 100,000 subscribers. So go ahead and click subscribe today. Welcome back to TAS. My name is Ango. We're going to kick things off with some TNA news. First, TNA has announced that they have re-signed Eddie Edwards to a new deal with the company. And this is obviously very exciting if you have seen what Eddie Edwards has done in TNA. You might remember years and years ago, Eddie Edwards was a tag team guy. Then he took a chance. He went to TNA, well, Impact Wrestling. And then he became a singles guy. And he really refined his career. He did a lot of great things as a singles guy in TNA. There were rumors that perhaps AEW and WWE would be interested in Eddie Edwards, and it wouldn't be the first time that WWE was interested in Eddie Edwards. Back in the day in NXT, WWE was looking at bringing in him and Davey Richards. That did not become a permanent thing, but WWE did have interest at the time. Now TNA, obviously signing more guys to contracts. They're bringing in more people. They've decided to make the decision to bring back Eddie Edwards, and obviously Eddie Edwards made the decision to re-sign with the company. He's done some awesome stuff in TNA. And to be honest with you, he has really changed the way people perceive him. And I think it's because not only is he a veteran of the business, not only is he a good wrestler, but he's also a good storyteller. And TNA, it's important that they have a variety of mixture in their company. And it's actually one of the things that I love about TNA. And obviously with them doing this rebrand and stuff like that, there's going to be a lot of attention on them. You're going to see a variety. You're going to see a variety of good wrestlers. You're going to see a variety of good characters, and you're going to see a variety of good storytellers. Eddie Edwards has a combination of all of those things. And, you know, whether it's that hardcore, gritty style that he brings to the ring or whether it's his storytelling skills, I think Eddie Edwards re-signing with the company is just another good sign that TNA is able to retain talent. Yes, there are rumors of people leaving, and obviously that's going to be the case anytime a contract expires because we live in a world where the wrestling industry is thriving, it's healthy, there's multiple companies that could pay full-time wages, so obviously people are going to leave companies, right? They're going to leave WWE. They are going to leave AEW, and they will leave TNA, but that's okay because of the fact that there's other companies that could provide a living. And this is one of those things where TNA being able to retain Eddie Edwards is a great thing. I don't think there's anything negative about that, and I'm actually excited to see what they do because you still need to keep a little bit of that hardcore-ness to the product once they officially rebrand. And that brings us to our next topic. Speaking of TNA, I'm super excited about this. Tonight, TNA is going to be having an episode of Hidden Gems. So what I really like about this idea is that TNA, even though they're kind of doing like a hidden gem episode where they're showcasing older stuff, matches that may have not aired, things like that, they're still going to use this episode to propel forward. And Impact Wrestling has already announced there will be a return announcement, and tonight we're going to find out that there is an international star that will be returning to TNA Wrestling for Hard to Kill on January 13th. Now, this is actually a really amazing announcement because TNA has already announced Okada, and they've announced Will Ospreay. So at this stage of the game, we know that they've been announced. We know that TNA has re-signed Kushida. Well, they've actually signed Kushida now. They just re-signed Eddie Edwards, right? Who could this be? Who could this major return be? And it's an international star, so TNA will announce this tonight. Now, there are a couple rumblings of who it may be. The one that I have specifically heard is that it could potentially be Vikingo, which he has competed in TNA before, Impact Wrestling. Obviously, with Impact TNA, my guess is that this is going to be an international star who will be working the X Division match. But there's not many people I could think of off the top of my head who could be joining the company for this pay-per-view. And That's pretty astonishing when you think of TNA already announcing Ospreay and Okada. How does it get better than that? Realistically, that's a very difficult question to answer. And I feel like with TNA, they have a very good strategy of how they're doing these announcements. You will have to watch TNA on Access TV tonight. But the good news is they are going to be having a major return, and it's an international star. So, I love the idea of Impact bringing in people. I love the fact that they are using, a hidden gems episode to sneak in a announcement. The only thing, man, I just really want this company to do well. Going into 2024, I just want this company to continue to do well. They've been doing some really good TV the last few years. And, when you combine that with improved production and bigger names, I just feel like there's a lot of potential for them, and obviously people are talking about TV deals and stuff. And I understand that concern from fans. I understand completely, in order to get there, you got to keep making the right business decisions. They have been making tons of good business decisions in recent years. That's one of the reasons why I love Anthem taking over the company. But now this is going to be a major return for Hard to Kill. It's going to be a must-see pay-per-view. So I think a lot of people will be tuning in to Hard to Kill versus watching Battle of the Belts. But ultimately, it shall be very, very interesting to see how things go. My guess, based on things that I've heard, it could potentially be Vikingo. I could see that very well being a possibility. You never know. There's a couple other names that I'm hearing, but I feel like this is just going to be a really good thing for TNA in general. Just the fact that they even have big international stars coming to the show is just awesome. And that brings us to our final topic of today's video, guys. I want to talk to you about Triple H, CM Punk. What are they cooking? Guys, there's been a lot of he say, she say when it comes to the WWE Raw TV deal. This is absolutely incredible. A lot of people are chiming in on this. So just about a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago or two, there was some talks that the WWE Warner Bros. Discovery TV deal was dead. The talks of it were dead. Now you have multiple people coming out with tons of confusion on this. Dave Meltzer has come out and said that, basically the main talk, or the main thing, is the talks with WWE and Warner Bros. Discovery are not dead. But the issue is the NBA TV deal has yet to be completed, and it's basically impacting AEW and WWE. PW Insider had then reported that Mark Shapiro, Nick Khan, and Triple H went to New York City this past Monday morning, and they held a very long meeting with Warner Bros. Discovery with the WBD executive Bruce Campbell, who holds the position of Chief Revenue and Strategy Officer in regards to the television rights. This is also interesting because Nick Hausman came out and was basically saying that originally he was told that, that it was like basically the whole TV deal thing was like not accurate at all. Then his source reached out to him and said it's very strange. This has become a situation very much like the Cody Rhodes, very much like the CM Punk thing. There is a lot of confusion in regards to these reports. And I think one of the biggest things here is that when you look at the WWE Raw TV deal, right, and you look at the potential future with WBD, obviously it plays a very tricky situation at hand for AEW because of the fact that AEW has that TV deal with them. Would WWE want to be exclusive only or not? And I think the realistic thing here is that you're going to pick the company that can make more money. Does this mean WWE doesn't need to be exclusively on the network? I don't know. I feel like WWE is going to want to be exclusive, right? But if WWE can make a lot of money regardless of the exclusivity, I think they'll take the deal regardless. I think for Warner Bros. Discovery, I think there is a lot of interest in any company that can make them money. People got to remember, Warner Bros. Discovery is not the most profitable company at this time. A lot of these TV networks, they're not making a lot of money these days. You're trying to make the most money possible. This is not a decision that is taken lightly. This is a decision where you got to factor in every single penny. Also, you have to factor in one more thing. CM Punk. CM Punk was basically given a show with Warner Bros. Discovery. Now he's back on WWE television. Plus, WWE has CM Punk backstage at NXT. I think CM Punk is going to have a lot more influence than we realize, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing, but only time will tell.